What's up, guys? Pittsburgh White Schwartz back again with yet another set review. Today we are doing that one singular time I was reincarnated in a slime, but it's volume 2. So I guess it was 2 times.
The second time I was
The
reincarnated
second
as a
time.
slime.
Joined today by Andy and Brian, who you've all met before,
Hey.
and our special guest, one of our newer players here in Pittsburgh, B. John, goes by Climax in the FGC, Super Turbo Champion top player. Insane.
My God. Hi.
And you-
Carmen's gonna edit in some applause here.
Yeah. I'll edit in some clips of John playing Super Turbo. But you played Final Fantasy TCG, like competitively before you played Weiss, right?
Yeah.
Or relevant stuff.
I'm good enough that I got the nationals, so I'm versed in card games.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, John picked up the game like hella quick, and he was like, "Okay, what do I buy?" Because you got sick of playing Love Live Maki 2 Soul, and he was like, "Buy Slime," and then he became the Slime Master. Local Slimers.
Sure.
He comes to me and he says, "Hey Andy, what's the closest thing to Fat Chocobo in Wise?" I tell him, "Slime." That's what I said.
Just slime. but on the up. Okay. But yeah, we'll get right into it. There's only 3 colors this time: yellow, red, and blue. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Andy, start us off. Your favorite card profile.
All right, we got a brainstormer. Get some like MLG like air horns in there. Some
Yeah, get some hit markers.
hitboxes or yeah. When the opponent of your other character is reversed, choose one of your demon continents. They get a 500 power. So like some nice rolling power. If you can win a lane, give 500 power somewhere. And it is a rest self brainstormer, and you search for demon continent. I believe the brainstormer that Slime has currently is the red one that is a salvage brainstorm.
Yes.
Your boy's a big fan of search brainstorms. I prefer them to the salvage ones, generally speaking. But I feel like the salvage one might still be better for Slime, because there's so much deck searching still, like with the masks, and a lot of the stuff seems to work off the deck, even in the new set.
Yeah. What's the
Yeah.
second? What's the second effect on the brainstorm slime is playing right now?
Minus 500 power, right?
Yeah, minus 500 or front row.
Okay, that might be better than this.
I think it's better. I think this brainstorm is a little bit worse because usually your biggest pile is your waiting room, because it's just you mill so much of slime with like your Shizu combo currently. But like if you change that, this might be better. Just it depends on the state. They're both viable, of course.
Yeah.
I think it's the color that would make you
Yeah.
choose this one.
Hmm.
You're trying to fix yellow because like the deck changes a lot. You play this one because the other
think,
effect is fine. The like rolling 500 power.
Hmm.
That can,
I like the rolling 500 power a bit better than the minus 500 ones, just because it's throughout the game you get incremental value off it, not just the turn you play it.
for English, the minus 500 spot power isn't as annoying as it is
Yeah.
in JP.
I think it's meta dependent for sure.
But I think I think if Slime ends up switching to a salvaging combo of some kind, because all the combos they have now, there's the Shizu they currently run that's a cigarettes combo, mill 2, and then no wait, that is a salvage combo.
It is. Yeah.
So maybe this would be nice in the current builds where you have like a salvaging combo.
I think it's the mask. The mask would make you want to play a salvage brainstorm because mask is just on-demand access.
Yeah, exactly. Like you already have mass to get what you want. So like if you really want worse search for your deck, you can put this in. But like obviously like right now, like when you're running 4 mass and all the Chloes and stuff, it's really easy to get what you want from the deck, but it's hard to get it from your waiting room.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Waiting room's kind of premium at the moment.
But I mean, it's a brainstorm. It's got a good second ability. It's a perfectly playable card.
That's a B for brainstorm.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one.
Yep.
E
I think
for
I think I'll
brainstorm.
give it the minus though, because I think I like the other one a bit better.
I think we got it. There's another good brainstorm in this set too. But it's like very targeted in the deck that you'd play it. We'll talk about that when we get to red.
Oh
Moving
boy, I
on.
hope I get to do that one too.
Not the first card, so maybe you'll dodge it. All right, Brian, go ahead.
All right, we've got a climax combo. This character is Shion, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If all of your characters are Demon Continent trait, gets 1,000 power, sits at 5,500. When this card attacks, if the choice is in your climax zone and you have a full board of Demon Continent characters, you can choose a character in your waiting room and salvage it. Seems pretty good. On attack selective plus, sits at 5,500 always. I like it.
Filling your board sounds terrifying. I've
All
played
right.
I've played these combos where
It does need full board. Yeah, that is a good point.
I think it's like those 2-1s that you have to early play with a full board. How many times has that come up and screwed you, and you only had to find one card for like a multiple pluses in one lane, and now you're saying, I'm gonna find like multiple of this, and I'm gonna fill my board too.
Right.
It's not like unachievable, but it's like I think it's more of a cost than this might read
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Okay. You have to run higher on plussing zeros. I think you definitely want to max on Ricky's playing this if you aren't. Just anything to help you get.
You need a
playable to
Ricky
your hand
and a
level.
field plus, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
you'd want to.
runners and Ricky's galore.
What are you talking about?
Hmm?
Like, this seems actually pretty good. I was
You-
distracted by the art at first. Very nice suit, but
Filling your board is a real condition.
filling your board's not even an issue.
it is.
I don't think it's an issue.
It can
It
be.
is. It can be, dude.
It's not that it's not an issue. Yeah, it's not that it's not an issue. It's that it can be an issue, and it's something that needs to be considered.
Like you're comparing this to combos where you don't got to do anything to get them to work.
Slime has a good zero game, and good like deck access with the Chloe's getting you the mask that gets you whatever, and then you have like the Rickies, which will get you a copy of your combo of choice. And I mean,
And none
how
of those
hard
cards
is it?
live. None of those
Every
cards
time I play
currently
against
live.
Slime, they just triple sheeze you the second they hit level 1. They probably have a potion seller in their back row and a brainstorm, and it's like lingering around.
Except
Like when
I,
you're going for your level 1 combo turn,
I
how
feel
are
like
you
they don't though,
not having a
because
full field?
I feel like with those kinds of decks, they literally don't have a full field because they're using their Rickies for like Chloe and then like Chloeing to mask. Their hands are full of masks, not playables. They draw up for their next turn, and then they use their masks to go get their combo pieces or do whatever they need to do. And I think more often than not, the current Slime decks, which I think we should, going forward, we shouldn't like evaluate everything in that like very directed deck, because this does add a lot of just brand new archetypes that you'd want to play that are not at all similar to the old deck. But like, I feel like more often than not, it's just like 3 Shizus in front row, maybe 1 potion seller in back row. I feel like the board is never full because of the way you take those turns, like sort
But
of.
I don't think it's like a liability that they could just. I'll just throw my brainstorm down. They like have a card they could field if they wanted to.
You're playing like, I don't know, John. You play a lot. I mean, like you're sculpting very directedly, very early, right? Like in Slime.
Yeah.
Like you're
Absolutely.
not keeping like spare zeros around like you would in decks where you sculpt more naturally. In Slime, you're hyper consistent because you start doing that shit on your first turn.
Yeah, like I'm more of the line like saying like the full field condition, like while it's obviously not insurmountable for Slime, like there's so many games where I just have like 4 people on the field, like, and I don't have the 5th, like I don't have a potion seller, I don't have a brainstorm. It's just because you have to have masks to either get your Shizus, to get combo online, like Karma, like you said, you're really sculpting for your level 1.
If you're playing a more normal deck, I would agree, Andy. You could just throw stuff down, but in the idea of the old deck, which I think is like just a really strong like 0 into 1, you aren't gonna have those extra things. So I think saying that this is like a oh whatever, that's fake, is like the wrong way to approach the card.
I didn't say it's fake. I don't think it's a fake condition. I just think like everything in Slime Plus is you can mask for whatever you want. Mask for a plussing card. You can Chloe, get your mask, get a plussing card. You can Ricky for your level 1 combo. You can Ricky for Ramirez and then get a level 1 combo. Like everything's plussing. How do you not have a full field if you want it? And of course, if you're not evaluating it off of the deck that exists now.
I
If you're
think
playing
that
this combo,
saying
you
like,
can build your deck differently. You could run a bit heavier.
so
on level 1s and
if I
level
build my
0s.
whole deck where like I have to, I feel like if I'm deck building to support this combo where it's like, I guess I would be playing Ramorses anyway because Ramorous is a broken card. but like Ramorous is something that helps you get this online for sure. I concede that. I just think it's like, I don't know. I see these like, if this case comes up, my card does nothing, and I go, I could play other cards that always do something. Like, and
In those cases, you could probably just sandbag a turn, though.
But why would you ever want to do that? Like, why would I ever want to sleeve up a deck that had a fail case like that if I didn't have to?
The fail case is like so minimal. Like, I feel like the games you'd have to sandbag a turn would be few and far between.
But what if you just never had to? And you
it even keeps its value later into the game because it's like an on-attack salvage anything combo. The only issue I see with it is I guess maybe later on in the game having a full field can be tough for Slime, at least with the current builds they play. But early on, if you sculpt for it, I think you'd probably be fine.
I don't know.
I guess
I'm thinking about those games, dude. What about those games where like you run like 18 to 20 level zeros in your deck? You open none of them.
Mhm.
You attack with one character. It's not your +0. It doesn't live. Your whole hand is your level 1 combos, and you're like, damn, I'm going to really get back in the game the second I hit level 1. Like, this guy, he thinks I'm bricking out, and I'm going to get him. How many times are you playing Weiss Schwartz, Andy, where that kind of stuff comes up? When you play a combo like this, those games become auto losses. If you don't,
I mean, those games are already really, really bad, though. Like,
they're not though. You already just come back. As long as you're fielding one attacker, you're like, it's just like, have you? Those games were like, oh well, here's my brainstorm. I get a stock. You get another turn to level 0. Here's my filter card. Get a stock, and then you pop off into your level 1 combo, and the rest of the game is fine. That's a lot harder to do when you're playing stuff like this.
I don't know. That sounds like a first world problem to me, Carmen.
It
like,
doesn't.
Slime
It's still,
has, like,
it's
the
still
best,
a problem.
They're like the best at like filtering their deck and selecting what they want.
Well,
How are you having that trouble?
We don't rate cards based on salt.
What? I'm not rating it based on salt. Chloe, Ricky, Mask.
I know what you're saying. You can't.
Well, I think like if you played this, like I've been a lot of games where Carmen described like we just like eat shit like the whole beginning of the game and like you can't field anything. If I'm playing this, I'm not winning that game. If I play Shizukomo, I am winning that game.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that this you can hit level 1 and have this card not be online in any given game, not saying that it's going to happen often, but there are games where it will happen, is a detriment that you have to keep in mind when thinking about playing this card.
Yeah,
I think it's like fine as an effect. It's hard to like. I don't know. It's like hard to say honestly.
These on attack like selective pluses, they always come with a caveat, and like they are rarely something that's really good. I honestly think the only ones that end up being super, super good are the ones with like experience 2, because that shit's fake as fuck. Like that's actually fake. Like the Kirito and Sal or did the last set review. But I think full field does have the potential to actually screw you a lot more than you'd think. Even in sets like Slime, Andy is right. You have all the tools to like sort of get you there. But like, this is Weiss. Everything goes bad all the time. So,
when it rains, it pours. Like,
yeah,
I'll concede that point. Like,
yeah, when things go bad, everything goes
you're, like,
bad.
Really clutching for your level 1 combo, and that's like your last hope. This deck doesn't even have that. But if any deck can make a combo like this work, I think Slime can.
I think it's worth exploring.
I'm playing this with like Ramirez, like a lot of Ramorous, a bunch.
Yeah, Ramirez. We call
Detective Ramirez.
Or Detective Ramirez. Yeah, you definitely run Ramorous if you're playing this card to help facilitate condition in the games where it's bad. Because like you could, if you're playing Ramorous and like let's say you have Ramorous and this card in your hand, you can like clock your level 1 combo piece for like more playables, and plan to summon this out and then banish it.
You know what I forgot about too? There's another certain field plussing level 0 that Dan was pushing my shit in with all day.
Oh yeah. The Chaser helps this card a lot.
Field.
Yeah, the Chaser helps this card a lot as well. Spoilers for red. But
there's this blue card, John. When we get to blue, you're gonna fucking love it, dude. It lives and it goes to memory.
Oh, that card too. I thought you were talking about the Chaser, but the Shimakai is also pretty decent. All
I don't know.
right,
I think we should get to scoring.
Mm,
I'm giving it a B minus because I don't
Yeah,
like the
card-
fail case.
card seems fine, minus for the
That's how I feel too.
glaringly hard to work with fail case.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
All right, next card. We got this Rimuru, looking longingly at the mask. When it is placed from hand to stage or by the climax combo of this same card, Rimuru figure received, you heal 1. And then at the end of this card's attack, you may, if you have this choice in your climax zone, you can mill the top 2 cards of your deck. If all those cards are either Demon Continent and or Yellow Climaxes, choose a character in waiting room and place it in the slot this was in. Wait, where do you pay cost?
At the end of this card's attack, pay 3.
At the end of this card's attack. Okay, so it'll be at the end of the attack, you have to pay 3, ditch a card, and send this to memory. And then, as long as your mill 2 is only Demon Continent characters or Yellow Climaxes, so you can't play events. Or if you don't have the events in memory, it fails. You get a quote-unquote restand.
You get a pseudo restand, yeah.
Yeah, or no, it's any character, right? Choose a character in
Any-
your waiting
yeah.
room. But you're incentivized to summon an additional copy of this.
Do you want to like
Hmm.
chain this card as much as you possibly can?
I think so. I think that's what they're going
Wait,
for.
can you just keep doing it? It doesn't. Yeah. You can just keep doing it.
If you have the resources, pay 3 is pretty steep.
Yeah, pay 3 is.
You're never gonna have the stock for it, but it's like I think that's what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe is there like a good off finisher that you could shit into play with this?
the Milam
Like an on
clock
attack do
kicker.
something.
Does that card have to come from hand? Somebody Google that real quick. See if
Which
the
one?
the Draconoid Milam, I believe, has to come from your hand for
So
her
from
clock
set
kick
one?
to be online. Because she's it. I don't believe it's a cross turn clock kick, is it?
Oh no, I think it's I think you have to play it.
It's when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, pay 3 clock sheet. Always.
Always. Okay, but it's pay 3.
Yeah.
Okay. It's because that's the one where it's on play reveal top if it's a character you burn, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that'd be a lot of stock, but you could go into a clock kicker, I guess. That's like the only off finisher with something. If it comes from grave, you still get it. Because a lot of those off finisher effects, they have to be played from hand. This is coming from grave, and if you summon a copy of this, it does heal you.
It heals again. Because this card is Rimuru figure received.
This card screams to me like it's super fun to look at and think about, but when you play it, you're gonna like hate trying to make it work.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you gotta play 8 choice, or like
Why do you have to play 8 choice?
win choice. Whiffs on anything that's not a yellow climax, and you'd have to like
Oh,
cut
yeah,
down
yeah.
on your events as well, or like play to send every copy of an event in your deck in your memory, or like never even go for it if you have fails, because like
Yeah.
you pay so much, and then if you fail, you get nothing.
Yeah, this is like it just such a feels bad, like where you have to run like so much yellow.
I mean, maybe the 8 choice deck is fine. I don't like 8 choice as a trigger lineup. I think 8 choice is really freaking painful. I love the choice trigger, but I think when you run 8 of them, I don't think there is like a single deck that can support that trigger lineup and like have the triggers mean something. Like ever. Like you're just gonna get junk. You're gonna get junk or you're gonna get extra stock.
Yeah. I mean, you just whiff choice so often. It just feels bad to have so many in your deck.
Yeah, when you have 4, I think choice really shows how strong it can be.
Definitely.
It's like every deck uses stock. Every deck would like cards. Those are both good things, but like when you have 8, the selection starts to become 4, and then like you end up taking stock a lot of the time because the cards are garbage, and then your triggers don't mean anything. Like, I don't know. It would have to be. You'd have to like run like some very specific good like soul triggered cards. So, I don't know. 8 choice is kind of painful in my experience.
You can get all the stock with it though for this card.
Yeah, you could.
Woo.
Might also be what they're going for here, but I mean, card just feels kind of clunky overall. maybe too expensive. Probably definitely too expensive.
Both, yeah.
Seems fine as like a top end combo you play where you slam this card down as a 10k healer first and foremost, and like the games where when you're ready to close out the game you can actually go for the combo, and maybe you don't even care at that point because you're playing to sustain. Maybe it goes in a deck that plays similar to the old deck, but like you go heavier on this like as a finisher, because then you're playing choice, right? And choice shorts up your stock throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, this versus like going for the one of Milim or whatever, maybe this is better. You like run more of it.
Probably. I don't know. So I've thought about it a bit, and I like the fact that you can just tap out completely for this, and then just go like attack, attack, attack. And because this triggers at end of attack, you get to pay 3. You'll always have the 3 for it. So like this is an actual quote unquote finisher for Slime, which is something that the deck lacks, in my opinion, in its current variation. Yes, I know you have the stupid red card, red hair girl that pay 5 and discard 3 or whatever, but no one's ever doing that. Like, at least when I play against Slime, I feel like they never have that much stock because they have such good tools that they want to be like paying their stock over the course of the game, whether it's like with the potion seller to like be healing, or you know they're brainstorming.
Oh yeah, you never want to do it. But
most decks they're committing a lot of resources to early playing, and then just in general like paying one for Ramaris, for Ricky, for Mask, all their search effects, you know, cost stock.
They do add up, yeah.
So I like the fact that this combo seems achievable, whereas the Milim, that's her name, the Milim combo really felt like you were running it more for the gate climax than,
yeah,
you know, maybe once every blue moon you combo with it.
The choice on this is nice too. I think it fits into that kind of game plan.
For sure, yeah.
But I don't think Slime's going to be like, even if they do choose to play this, it doesn't seem like they're going to be like doing the dream play of like looping Milims and like doing all 4 in a single lane. You know, like that's not happening.
That would be sick.
I think like you'll get 3 attacks and then
you might get
one more attack.
Yeah, get one more attack.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what Carmen was saying is right. I mean, if you play this card, it's 4. I mean, choice is a nice trigger, but you're playing it as a healer with an incidental combo, kind of like the Milim with the gate that Slime's playing now.
Yeah, I mean, it was just another healer anyway. It was never a finisher. So. Yeah, I think the card's fine. I'm gonna give it a B+ because it fits like in the realm of the other deck. I think the healer, the card that has a finishing effect. I think choice would be cool to explore in a deck like that. The event thing would scare me, but maybe it's worth going for as like, you know, go for the extra attack, going for game, and like make sure you know where everything is, calculate your odds. More achievable than getting Milim off, that's for sure.
I think this is, I think this, at least as far as I know, this seems like the best finisher Slime has. And it's barely a B. It's getting knocked up to a B- from a C because it's an actual finisher that would work in the deck, but kind of sucks ass.
It's fun.
That's about where I'm.
You would have to run a bunch of it because this card has to be engraved. If you were.
Oh no, more healers! Oh, the Slime players. Crying.
Well, the other ones are early plays, dude. This one's not an early play. That's a deck building restriction.
Yeah.
It's gotta be early play heal. All right. Yeah, we can move on.
All right. So for this one, it is a 0/0/500. All your other characters that you're playing the game with get plus 500. The big thing with them is that you just card a card from your hand. You would just play it. You go search for the new event, which is Crystal Wisdom. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. I mean, I think if you're playing the event, you're playing for this, right?
I don't know. It's not like Chloe.
It's not Chloe, but I think that if you want to make this work, I don't think you can try to whiff it, right? Your event.
Your level 1 combo salvages the event. Off of its combo. So like you could just play the ones you draw before you play the combo, and then get the other ones. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But it is a deck bonder to an event. And you can ditch anything, but the card itself is kind of junk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd have to see the whole package, but looking at this card alone with the event, it looks like a 2 or 3 of if you're playing the event.
Yeah, this one's not as good as Chloe.
So,
You can only wish to be Chloe.
Brian, do you know what the event does?
I do. It's I was
It's
told
sword.
it's the Finn sword from Adventure
Same
Time.
text as sword.
Hmm. And the Finn sword sucks.
It's not great.
I think the Finn sword's
It's
fine. Like, not the best.
Yeah, it definitely isn't.
Well, it's got a payoff card for the combo. It's that one that sits. I think you experienced it earlier today. The one that sits like disgustingly big for no reason.
I don't think it sits big. I think it attacks big.
It's both.
I don't know if it sits at this power. I know the combo that goes with this though.
It's 1,000 per. It's a 104K. It gets 1,000 per copy of this in memory, and then every copy of that event that's in memory gives 500 to your board on your turn.
Yeah, so basically the card gets 1,500 for each of these in your memory, I guess, if you're mathing it up. And then you have the climax on top of it.
Yeah, I think it's really big.
I don't know, it seems like a lot of cards to run. I feel like I'd rather just run like a different level 1 combo and just play the masks like you're doing before.
It's really hard to give up mask.
Mhm.
I don't think you have to. I think
You can play it in addition to this. I mean, that's definitely going all in on like the send everything to memory plan.
Yeah, you just play like Psychono. Maybe you can actually do that now, because people think of Slime as a memory deck, but it was always like not that much memory. Like, I don't know if anybody here has seen Free-Band Psychono, where it's like, achieving like 16 plus memory was like a normal thing.
Mhm.
Maybe there's enough like decent memory cards to actually throw you over into that
Maybe.
kind of strategy.
Yeah, Slime Kana.
Yeah.
It's
It
possible.
might be if you have enough stock for it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the limiting factor, because like if you're still gonna play Marammers, if you play Massey on this event, that's a bunch of stock, and Slime is already real slim on it.
Yeah. You wouldn't be playing as heavily into healers if you were doing that. You would be like using your potion seller to pay for events for memory generation. Like that's what you'd be playing a more normal game plan, but with a lot of memory. So your last deck would be invincible, and no one would be able to mess with it. And again, I think the strength of Slime generating memory is now there's another event. The way they split their memory, all the memory hate is like characters. Very, very little of it is like cards. So like you can really like not even experience like memory hate. Because like they're too cowardly to print things that just dump players' memory.
Yeah,
So
you
who
really have,
knows?
like 4 or more go away, right?
Yeah, it's like if you have 5 or more memory, and it's always like if you have 5 or more if you have 5 or more memory, choose like only non-characters and dump them or something like that. Or only characters and dump them. Because you don't want to give them back the events, because then they just get their utility back.
Hmm.
So you never want to give Slime its mask back. Like,
I mean, I don't know. They can just pay all their stock again. That's fine.
yeah, but then they get the good cards. But yeah, I don't know. This card seems fine. I think it's a shitty effect with like a good deck bond.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously only play it in this deck with this package. Otherwise,
Maybe it's a one of if you're running the events.
I don't know. Slime has too many good cards to like run a card with like some bad text on it. I think.
Yeah, I just think you play this if you're playing a new deck, really.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a whole new package.
You probably don't even need this if you're playing the combo, though. I think you could probably get away with it without it. I don't even think you need the deck.
I don't think I saw Dan playing this card today. He was playing the new combo and the new event.
Yeah.
I don't think he was playing this.
I don't think you need it.
So I don't know. It seems like Chloe to get your mask. Mask is a card that it seems like you always want to be seeing with Slime, where this 1/1 event seems like if you just incidentally draw it, it's like whatever. I guess I'll send it to memory and
You
filter it,
you
but
cycle it for the buff.
it's not like you really want it.
You'd only really want it if it was like you were going in on looping your level 1 combo constantly, because like it would hold field and it would be big, and you'd be able to like both defend it and then like continue to plus, and then the combo itself has deck speed, so like you would never be out for like combo or like mill or whatever. So like maybe there's a deck that uses all that, but
Guess we can talk more about that when we get to
Yeah,
blue
when we get
and
to
that
blue.
card.
moving on back to the top.
Okay, we got this.
Dion.
What's her name? Shion.
Yeah.
Shion. Looking at the slime in the Naruto village. That exact village is in Naruto, dude.
I'm sure it is.
When this placed from hand to stage, put the top 2 cards of your library into your waiting room. If there's at least a climax among them, choose one of your characters who gets 1500 power. I hate that effect. That kind of sucks. When this is placed from your hand to stage, choose one of your Demon Continent characters that gets 1500 power. So you can potentially give 3000 power.
Why does this matter?
Yeah, how aggressively is Slime looking for reverses? Not very.
Not.
Yeah.
Maybe these new builds that are playing this sword event to like give power on your turn.
There's way too many better cards you would play at 0 rather than this.
Yeah. This card
Way
sucks.
too many.
This card sucks. That's not up for debate. The card's not good.
I like that you can split the power at least. You can either stack all 3000 in one thing or you can split it 15 and 15, but
Card's ass. Hate
It's not
it.
Great, no.
Force Mill. Not all it does is give power. Not a filter. Why am I playing this again?
Deck speed.
Like, it's not even like a reusable power pump. It's like a one-time power
Yeah.
pump. Like, useless.
Yeah, on play maybe pump 3k.
Yeah, not good enough. Next.
All right, we've got this level 1 Rimuru. When this card is placed from hand to stage, all players perform the following action. If you have 5 or more cards in memory, choose 4 cards in your memory, and place all other cards in your memory that were not chosen into your waiting room. So it's got that memory hate effect that a bunch of cards have. And when this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you can ditch a card. If you do, choose a level 0 or lower character in your waiting room, place it in any slot on the stage. So it summons level 0 characters also.
why would Slime ever play this card?
Yeah, seems not super great. Especially
To help you
You can-
fulfill your full field condition for Shion.
Yo, you can play this understated level 1 that lets you fuck yourself.
and wipe your own memory, yeah.
Well,
if you're playing a memory centric
if you're
build.
playing the 8 choice deck, you are ideally not playing a lot of memory stuff because it would fuck your combo at the top if you were playing 8.
I guess. You run this in those builds.
I
but
think
I don't think those builds will be
that-
optimal.
There is no reason for this card to exist when Ramorous is in the same fucking color. Like,
No.
it's just like, yeah, it's
that
just
is
like,
true. Mhm.
this is an important card for decks that need to fulfill full field at level 1 or they don't function and they fall flat on their face, except there's a better version of this card in the same set. So there's just no reason for this.
This one
As,
doesn't
as
cost
it
box,
stands,
yeah.
the card is it's fine. It's like a D minus D plus, like somewhere in there. It's like not great.
In
yeah.
any other set would love to have this.
It'll be a tech card in the future. Who knows? But
Yeah, if you need to fulfill those full field requirements, these cards are really good because they just take a level 3 or level 2 in your hand and they turn it into a thing on the field. Even if it's like your Brainstormer that you had to crash earlier because you didn't draw any level 0s, get it back out onto the board. But the Ramorous is probably always fucking better, and it's the exact same fucking color, the exact same fucking stat line, and generates memory instead of ripping your memory
I guess
away.
you get to do the one thing you were saying earlier though, Carmen. Like you could like reuse your masks with this.
You could. That is a thing you could do.
But
It is cards. It doesn't. This one notably just says cards.
still don't
so-
think makes this worth playing. In,
No, probably
Slime.
not. Next, old man, 1/1. He's got a soul trigger. Assist, level X in front. When you reveal a yellow climax and this has 1 or less markers, you can choose any card in your waiting room, place it face up underneath this as a marker. And then this is an act ability. You can pay 1 and put 2 markers from under this in the waiting room. Choose a yellow card in your waiting room and return it to your hand. There's a 1/1 that, like, after you trigger 2 choices, you could get a card without a soul trigger on back to your hand.
If it was 1, it would be maybe okay.
Yeah, I think this sucks. I think
Yeah,
this
2
is way too
many.
slow.
Like you have to trigger 2. You have to be playing this card. You have to pay a stock for this. You have to pay another stock just to get it back. Like it's so much resource.
Yeah, definitely. It's a card they're trying to get you to play in the 8 choice build, but I don't even think it.
I like that you can
Work better.
salvage a climax as a yellow card.
Yeah, you could salvage a climax, but
Get
I
a
think,
climax with it.
I think this is way too fucking slow.
Agreed.
I think this is like like way too slow. You would always play Potion Seller over this. You would play enough blue to play Potion Seller before you played this card. I think. It's just like
Yeah, I mean, at the point where you want to be putting down a level assist to be like tanking
Yeah.
up your early plays,
this card sucks.
seems like it's gonna be too little, too late, and then it forces you into like 8 choice. Also,
Yeah,
doesn't seem cool.
card just kind of sucks. Next.
We got a 2/2 Xion for each of your other demon incarnate characters. She gets 1K, so she sits at a 10, and she has hand encore.
Stand by.
That this would be this would be great if Slime had standby.
If only, right?
Yeah, if
If
only
only.
they had standby.
That's a standby target.
I
it's
don't
fine.
have anything to
Just
say.
a
It's just
standby
a
target.
generic card.
Yep. I don't have enough
Every
to say
set has
about
them.
standby target. Whatever. There is a better standby target in the set that I think you would never play this. But whatever. All right. Next. Back to the top.
All right, we got this Xion with the big sword. When you play it from hand or by the auto effect of this Ranga, until the next end of your opponent's turn, it's 4,500 power, and neither player can use backups in that lane. And when you attack with it, you can pay 1 and discard a Demon Continent character to heal.
Not interesting. Does the Ranga early play to get this out?
Yes,
of
the
level
Ranga does early
Okay.
play. Checking his effect real quick. Probably extremely important for evaluating this card. You have to have 2 or more of the Xion in your waiting room to early play him. And then you could pay an additional 1 when he's played to pull out the Xion.
Oh, okay, he pulls around.
And then you can pay an additional 1 and discard a card to heal 1.
Yes.
That's a lot of paying 1 and discarding.
Yeah.
It's a lot of minusing.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like probably a good standby target though, right?
It's only from the ability of Ranga, so it doesn't work with standby.
Well, what do you mean? You could just
The on attack.
attack and stand by this card, and then next turn.
Oh!
pay 1. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you're just gonna play it for the on attack heal.
Maybe as like a 1-of or something. Just like have it in
Maybe.
your graveyard toolbox. Huh?
Maybe. I think there are other things you could play for just like a heal, but it's
I guess, for the
Probably
games where
fine.
like, I think you just have it in your graveyard toolbox, and the games where you trigger a standby randomly, you can just throw this puppy in your back row.
I mean, I guess. I mean, Slime loves to heal, so
I think most decks would heal.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's okay. But like,
I think this package is all right, though. I'd consider it if Slime can find the slots for it.
I don't think it's that great. It's probably like a C. That's a lot of cards to just get like a heal. In which case, we could just play normal Xion healer.
Yeah, I don't think you play the whole package. I think you would just like throw one of these in your standby deck and like maybe you get it.
Okay. All right, we can move on. Next card. Okay, we're back. You can see that someone new has joined the set review. We are joined also today by our other new local Brittany. newer, joined at the same time as John. They both played a lot of Slime. So.
Lots
Say
of
hello.
slime. Hello.
Slime
So,
Squad rise up.
Yep, so we're going to continue. And Brittany will be on all the other colors as well. So I believe this is Brian's card. You get the
All right.
spicy one, Brian.
We got this level 0 Shion. On play, ditch a climax. If you do, search your deck for a Demon Continent trait character, show it to your opponent, put it into your hand, and shuffle. So it is one of your typical climax filter cards, except it searches deck instead of grabbing from waiting room.
Has never existed before. The first.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like kind of.
Profile is brand new.
Very spicy, yeah.
Is it any better? Does it matter? I mean,
Uh,
you're already running 4 masks and floor clothes to get your 4 masks.
At the point that the game is at now, does it matter? Probably not.
not a
think
lot,
it-
don't
I think if this existed in the past, it might have been broken. And now the game is just at a point where I don't even think it matters.
Mhm. Yeah, Bushiroad seems to be valuing this effect pretty highly because I think the vanilla cards that are just Ditch a Climax Salvage are, what are they, 2K, 2500, something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, it's really cheap when it's from waiting room. Deck is really early. Because I think it's like, if you think about it, like, right, like, if you draw this card early and you're flooded, like, this card is like a 1 card back in the game type deal. Because, like, obviously you don't have a big grade at that point. You don't have something that could possibly out you. So it's like, you could, but I don't know, in a set like this, you have the Trial Deck Rimuru. It's so hard to justify any filter card over that card, because that card is, like, mega bonkers broken. We're talking about the Double Ditch Rimuru from the Trial Deck.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's like the best. I love having that card. So, like the 2 effects that you get from that versus just 1 for this one. I could see how like there's so many. If you get it early, as you said, how it really would help and could help your hand especially.
But yeah, it would be really crazy early, but I don't know. I think the other Reamer is probably just better. Really, really
I
hard
think
to
the deck is
justify.
good.
I think it'd be a lot better if the set had like gold bar triggers. I like these like discard climax, salvage, or search with gold bar. Because those tend to just end up in your hand a whole lot.
Yeah, it's not as valuable.
Especially going
and
into like your next deck, you can then ditch the gold bar and search. But
the only climax returning you have is pants. There's always your choice. So not as valuable. And again, I really think the Trial Deck Reamer is just probably too good compared to this. This doesn't have another line of text. So the same power line. So probably not worth playing. But it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I think this is 2021 and this is a C.
Yeah. I'll give it a C plus for being new.
Yeah, very
Shiny
very-
and new.
We hate old thing, love new thing.
It's all right.
Like yeah.
Okay, we can move on. Brittany, this is yours. First card.
Oh. All right. When this is placed from hand to the stage, look it up to 2 cards from the top of your library and put them on the top of your library in any order. And when this attacks, if you have 1 or fewer other characters, you may put the top of your card into the library, top of your library into the waiting room. And if it's a level 0 or lower character, put it on any slot in the back row.
I
field
like those 2
condition-
effects in tandem with one another. It's a pretty premium, actually.
Chizuru spawner.
Yeah, it's a good that's a good combination of effects for the spawner effect for sure.
Yeah, if you're gonna play a spawner, these are they either have to be something stupid like the Snot Claw that's also a spawner and IMS, or Chizuru spawner like this. Just they're a lot better when you don't have cards with come and play effects, which unfortunately in Slime is a thing that all of your cards have. Because like when it comes off the top of your deck into your field, you're not gonna get that come and play effect at all.
Mhm.
So come in from hand effects. So in Slime, it probably is unfortunately not something that you'd currently want, but like maybe there's a build that wants to play Chizuru spawner. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not running heavy on those come and play effects, it's I mean, this is about as good as you get with the spawner effect.
Yeah, she's your spawner is the best spawner profile.
But I mean, considering you're playing, the Bonder to Mask, you're playing Rick.
Probably just SE.
Yeah.
Brian, I want to say something. Do you know what I want to say?
Maybe go ahead, say it.
It's related to No Game No Life.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god.
use my one per video.
Kill me.
Go
I look at this
ahead,
card and I just see that was like a whole play that you set up in that deck was like the Shiro Brainstorm with the Clock Bomb that had like the mill effect to put a card into field.
Andy, it's the current
and that
year.
was 2 cards.
We put this on
This
the
is one
same
card.
card. Yeah, guess what?
This is broken.
Andy, there was a. Did you know that Rewrite had both of those effects on the same card far before No Game No Life even existed? How does that make you feel?
I don't know what rewrite is, dude. That sounds like a. That doesn't sound real.
I'm just
Not in
saying.
English,
I'm just
say
trying to
that.
say, No Game No Life was scuffed before it even existed. There
Oh,
were-
I guess I don't know if that makes me feel better.
Yeah,
No,
the fact-
probably
The
not.
fact that a movie exists too, and we don't have a second set, is just icing on the cake there. Yeah.
But the I guess the point is these 2 effects do complement each other
Yeah,
quite nicely.
she's a respawner
Yeah.
is a good card.
You can so what I like to do with it is you play this card down on like turn 1 or something. You like look at the top 2 of your deck, you see if you have a level 0 to mill there. If you do, you can put it on top and then swing with this and get your plus. And if you don't, you can just pull this to your back row and play a different level 0, and then next turn attack with this and have another chance.
I just don't want to
Pretty
hit
dope.
anything that this card would get.
Yeah, it's like I think it's the come and play effect thing. Is like the big thing.
Yeah, like what do you like realistically want to get with this card? Like everything you get is you want to place from your hand to the field to get their like interplay effect real bad.
I guess with slime, most of your effects are on play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
like all
it
of
does
them.
have like extra synergy with like kind of like we talked about in Data Live with the top 2 rearrange. If you're playing the standby build, you can make sure that your standby is always like the second card down,
You could.
which is nice. So you don't bury your climax when you trigger it. Also lets you just like play this down and look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and then just see how you want to like progress throughout your turn. Like if both are clean, maybe you don't brainstorm or anything. Maybe you just like attack and trigger clean. If you see a climax on top, you know that maybe you should brainstorm. So it even holds its value later into the game, like opening up those plays.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mhm.
All right, we can move on. It's she's a respawner. Old man. 0035. You can't play events or backups from hand. Actual drawback for slime. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may put that character to your opponent's stock. If you do, put the bottom card of your opponent's stock in your waiting room. So it's just an oversized with stock kick.
It's on reverse stock kick. Yeah.
So it screws over all of your opponent's on reverse memory effects by existing, and it's an oversized that's 500 under stat line. Or what you want to be seeing if you're playing an oversized with no other effect these days. Want it to be a 4K.
This
I'm
card
kinda-
looks like it's overstatted.
I'm kind of digging this card. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't think
know if it's
I think the
overstated.
drawback's too much to ever consider playing it in slime.
The drawback is really big.
Yeah. Considering your, I guess this goes in that that deck we were talking about, like the yellow maybe 8 choice deck where you're not going super hard on the events in order to
Yeah, you'd have
play
to.
for your finisher that doesn't want you to have events in your deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're not playing Mask, this card is super good, especially in a meta where there are a lot of things that a lot of utility cards that do things when they die. They go to memory when they die. They Ricky when they die. I don't know whatever other effects things do when they die when they get reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Any sort of Rizes or Chiuris or anything.
Just get rid of them. Well, those
I
just
think
need
it
to
would still
become
get those-
reversed.
It would still get those effects.
Yeah, they
though.
still get those effects. It's anything with a memory as part of the cost
Yes.
gets
mhm,
denied by this.
right.
Or if it's on waiting room, like when this card is sent to waiting room, like a Chiuri.
This has gotten printed in a couple upcoming sets as well. This is like a new profile that they're like experimenting with printing.
Looks
Yeah, I
really
think it's
good,
pretty
just
good.
not for slime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
so
if
the
it's
drawback
enough.
for it.
I think I would rather
Yeah.
play a 4K, but I think it's fine.
Card's got potential.
Trigger words. All right. Off to John.
All right, we got a 1/0 Rimuru. When this card attacks, this gains plus X power for the turn. X is 1K times your other Demon Continent characters. It's a 1/0 without a climax combo.
Got a soul trigger on it.
Oh, it
Ooh,
does.
I didn't even see that.
Ooh.
Okay, so
That's not too terrible.
if you were
actually.
playing 8 choice, I think you would have to play some number of this card. Because the
Probably.
biggest problem with 8 choice is that you cannot get a costless playable. Ever. Ever. Which a lot of the times when you like trigger a door is like all you're looking to do is get a costless playable. Like, and you can't even do that if you're playing 8 choice.
You know what else this is? This is the this is literally the same thing as Sex Robot.
But worse.
What do you mean worse?
The Sex Robot is when it attacks, it doesn't need the other characters on the field.
Yeah, it just gets there for free. But this thing has a soul trigger. And
Well, yeah, this is a soul
Yeah.
trigger though, and I mean,
makes your 8 choice a lot better.
yeah,
Yeah.
It
It's
would go in that slot. It's like your big beater for Ramorous or whatever.
you could take out Sex Robot just for this card. Anyway, just to get the soul trigger if you wanted it.
If you wanted it, yeah. Probably comparable.
The soul trigger in the corner is like a good thing though.
Yeah.
And if Sex Robot's playable, then this is playable. It's like a good Ramorous target.
They
I
printed
suppose.
they
That's fine.
printed choice and then they realized that choice had some natural drawbacks when you couldn't get a playable card. So probably just another C. At least
This
for
again
me.
seems like an overstated card.
Mhm.
I don't think so.
I mean,
Well, I mean, if it hits the same power threshold as the Sex Robot, this
Yeah,
one's
but
a
it
soul
need-
trigger.
the-
That's like premium.
requires
Sex
full
Ro-
field for
yeah,
that,
this
though.
needs full field.
Whatever.
Which I guess synergizes
Whee!
with the level 1 combo we were looking at, which already wants full field anyway.
Yeah, it does. Does go with that.
I was just talking about from a game design standpoint how Bushiroad is breaking their own rules.
Are they?
They're sowing the seeds of their own.
Are they
whatever,
breaking their own
right?
rules? I think this card is still.
It seems fine. It seems fine to me. This
Yeah,
doesn't
I
seem-
don't think
doesn't seem
this
overpowered.
breaks the formula at all.
I don't know how much is a soul trigger worth.
There is a number for it.
There is a number for how much Soul Trigger is worth.
I don't know. I really don't care that much. It's just saying.
All right, we can move on. Back to the
Yep,
top.
we got this 2/1 Rimuru. If you have 4 more Demon Continent characters, it gets minus a level in your hand, so you can early play it. At the end of this card's attack, if you have 4 more other Demon Continent characters, you can send the climax from your climax area to the waiting room to look at 2 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 2 characters, add them to your hand. Choose up to 1 character in your waiting room, return it to hand. The end of this card's attack, look at up to 2, add up to 2, and salvage. Doesn't need a reverse.
Mhm. So
Anyone
This
who gets
seems like a good card.
this is one of those really high ceiling 1/1 early play sack the combo combos. Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Sack the combo. This is like Joker from Persona, but better.
Right, but you have to sack the climax as part of the cost, so you can't do it in multiple lanes. It's more comparable
Yeah, but
to,
I
like,
mean,
the-
what? It's 4 more. I mean, if you wanted to like play a second copy anyway, you'd have to overplay something in minus.
Right.
It
Yeah, I mean,
seems
it-
fine.
Yeah, it's closer to like the Union from Legend of Crimson, though that requires a reverse.
This seems like actually really good to me if it doesn't need a reverse. But like you can't. It incentivizes you not to play events. So
Hmm. The
and
other
it
thing
does conflict with the other yellow level 1 combo.
Only looks at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck.
Yeah,
and
like
then
if you high roll it,
salvages.
you're good.
and
If
they
you
have-
low roll it, you're still +2.
and they have to be characters, so it doesn't hit on events. So Mask doesn't really work in this deck.
Mhm.
Tough
I-
one too.
I think I probably like this actually better than the other level 1 combo. The yellow
Xion.
one from earlier.
Mm,
This seems just like a better version of that. And then you don't have to load up on all choice triggers too. You can have like some other supplementary trigger. Not that wins like super premium, but
yeah.
you don't have to be 8 choice.
Yeah, it seems cute. Because that's really all I can say about it.
I think it's better than the other one. What I give the other one? I gave the other one a B.
I guess one cool thing you can do that you couldn't do with like the Union and Konosuba, where you have to sack off the climax since it's a stock soul, is when you sack off this climax, your characters do lose the continuous power in the soul, so you can modulate your damage in interesting ways.
Yeah, because this is a continuous.
It's a continuous. that
1K
power
ones are
soul for the win.
continuous. So
Mhm.
Well,
also lets you like put climaxes back. Like even if you only have like 2 cards in deck or whatever.
going into your next deck, yeah.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
does let you clear it off.
That's weird though, because like look at up to 2 cards. So like, do you really want to be doing this like if you have like no deck left? Because you'd be looking
Well,
at
you
your
could
deck.
do it first with like, okay, I know that there's all my deck is all hits, so I can mill down
Right.
to 2 cards. Do this first, or
Well, then
you
you
it would be
don't get
3. It would
salvage,
be
but
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is look at up to 2. So if let's say you did have 2 cards left in deck after swinging, you could look at up. You could just look at 1 card.
Yeah, you
Salvage.
can refresh all 8 mid attacks. Pretty cool.
But the ordering on those effects is a little bit unfortunate. If you could salvage first before looking at 2 cards, it'd be a lot better. But
Yeah,
this
but
is
you
one effect,
can't.
and you go top down. But I still think it's better than the combo from earlier. I gave the other one a B, so I will give this one a B plus.
Yeah, the fact that unlike the Xion we were looking at earlier, you only have to sculpt for 1 of this if you're going for this combo is
I
nice
don't
too.
like the trigger.
Oh, actually, the fact that you can't run events with this or it de-incentivizes events, that gets rid of the plus.
I don't like the trigger.
I'm very conflicted.
I don't like the full field. I don't like it.
I think if you look at this card in a vacuum without thinking about a lot of other things, it looks fantastic. But once you start thinking more, it gets worse and worse and worse. Like that's really how I'm thinking about it. I still think it's pretty good though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a bad card by any stretch.
All right, we can move on. Brian,
This
right?
one- Yeah, okay,
Yep.
we got the old guy. If Rimuru for my friends, which is the brainstorm, right, that we looked at earlier. Is that the brainstorm?
Yeah.
Yeah, if the brainstorm, the deck search brainstorm is in your clock, you can early play at level 2. When this card's placed on the stage from your hand, draw 2, ditch 2, stock top. And when this card attacks, choose one of your Demon Continent characters, and that character gains 1500 power for the turn. So power pump on attack, always 1500. Plays for 1, and early plays at level 2 with the brainstorm and clock.
I really like the draw 2, ditch 2 blind stock effect. It's nice considering Slime runs so low on stock that you can like have a stock efficient early play, but
Mhm.
you already have those with the set 1 Xion, the Shizu. Like Slime has a ton of early plays already, and your other early plays that heal will have negative synergy with this.
I wish this had a
Yeah.
real cantrip and not this like not a real cantrip. Maybe if this card refunded its own hand, it would have
Draw
a
2,
chance of
ditch 2 is
seeing play.
a solid effect, dude.
It's fine, but I think in a deck like Slime, where you're when you're playing those kinds of decks, where like you're hamstringed on resources, a lot of the time,
You just want the raw.
yeah, you want the
burn.
raw cantrip, yeah.
Yeah, it only sits at 95. It doesn't survive. It gives 1500 power on attack, which isn't relevant a lot of the time, I feel like, unless you're scaling some absurdly large wall. So it's just okay. It plays for 1. That's nice.
It's a cheap early play. It just has power. Nothing really special to me, honestly. It's a
Not
cool
bad.
effect, but
Yeah.
It's not bad. I think like we talked earlier too about how like maybe you don't want to be playing this brainstorm either because Slime would rather have the salvage brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
So like the old man's already kind of like techie to begin with, and then you'd have to be playing like at least 3 copies of this brainstorm probably. So you can't even like split it with your other brainstorm.
and you just have to have it. Like you just have to have it instead of being like setting it up way before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this makes you want to play like, yeah, at least 3 copies of your brainstorm, maybe 4. Depends on how hard you're trying to resolve this card, how big a part of your game plan you're
I
trying
don't
to make
think
it.
you make it a big part of your game plan if you're going to play it. I don't think it's that remarkable at all.
No,
That's
definitely not.
Probably,
I played with those effects before. Like that clock condition is actually kind of annoying, especially when it's on like a level 0 utility card that you want to just be like throwing away and filtering out of your hand as time goes on. You have to like now hold this brainstorm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I feel like you would probably need to run 4 copies. Like if the old man is like your primary early play, then you probably do want to be on 4 copies. You could get away with 3 if you're greedy, but I think you want 4. But that's saying he's your primary early play.
Yeah, if he's
Which
your
I don't
primary
think he
early-
ever is.
No, if he's your primary
Exactly.
early play, you're building the deck wrong.
Right.
All right. Next card. Brittany.
Alright, it's a 500 assist to the front, and then rest this if this does not have a marker under it to the Demon Continent character in your waiting room and place it face up underneath this as a marker. And rest, pay 1, rest this, turn a marker from underneath this in your hand.
Delayed plus every other turn.
This is like the potion seller,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
worse.
but different.
I think it's worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
It is worse.
I think you'd rather have the stock than the hand.
Yeah, you definitely would.
Yeah.
And it's
You could have this and the
interesting.
potion seller going in your back row though. You have this like little back row engine with this deck. Kind of cool.
Maybe.
It's a cool effect. I really like the flavor effects like this.
Yeah.
What's the flavor? Like
He eats stuff and then because he's a slime, and then he dukes it up. Like a bird.
I thought you were saying because he's like giving the number 3 and he has 3 effects.
Oh my god.
Maybe.
What flavor?
I think this card's pretty fucking whatever, actually.
Yeah.
I think
it's
you
cool.
can wait for
Whatever.
stock, but like a plus, like just play a fucking brainstorm.
You just play
Pay
brains.
1 selective. Maybe. I guess I'll say it again. Maybe in a deck that's not slime, like a not slime deck would appreciate this card.
Maybe.
There's like a lot of overlap with this and other slime cards.
Probably, yeah.
All right. Next. This is me. We got this Ramorous. It is a level 0, 2500. If you have another Demon Continent character, discard a card from your hand to the waiting room and sack this. Choose one of your opponent's characters and move it. And I'm just like, oh wait, is this grappling hook?
Except it kills itself.
I mean, this is more achievable than fucking pay 2, rest this, or whatever the hell those other cards are.
Yeah, those effects are like so bad.
This is just back this, ditch a card to torch something.
Wait, you have to sacrifice this too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there is a good clean cut for slime now, so maybe. I think this is a card that like you hold on to though, so I don't think it's a card you'd like clean cut and then wait.
I also see this as like a decent because slime's getting standby. This is like a incidental standby target. If you already have like a full field, let's say, and you don't really need anything else, you don't have like a big card to develop. Maybe you just want to like turn one of your back rows into something else. This lets you like put this card down and then like next turn use the effect.
It's interesting.
I like to think of those as like conserving your plus, although this doesn't actually plus for you. But
It's like a neat effect, at least.
it's like some synergy, I guess.
Hmm.
I think it's a more playable tech than any of those other cards that exist with a similar kind of effect. So I
guess.
think it's cool. It's
all
like
right.
a C.
I'd have
Super
trouble
cool,
justify
yeah.
playing it though, but
These cards are
Jeez,
kind of
that's pretty
getting
whack.
kind of boring. Where are the cool cards? They were at the
We're in
beginning.
the commons now. Oh,
Yeah.
my favorite profile next.
Oh my god! Nobody wastes their turn. You don't have to waste your turn on vanilla.
ew, what's he eating? Gross.
Vanilla.
Yummy, yummy.
All right, next card. John.
So we got a 4K Xion. Your opponent gets 2 Encore. It's big.
Isn't there already a 4K Xion?
Yeah, 4K to a less stock.
Huh. Is that card
Mm,
just better than this?
probably?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as much of a liability later.
You can try field with this, but I mean, if you have a clean cut, you can just swing with this first and then clean cut the 2 or less one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Card's
fine.
still fine though. It's a playable oversize.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I like
totally okay. Just a simple card. Back to the top. We're almost there.
Almost there. Oh my god, it's the old man. When
Weird.
he's placed on the stand from the stage, when he's put from hand onto stage, reveal the top card of your deck if it is a Demon Continent character. This gets a soul for the turn. Ooh. Nice. 2 soul the turn you play him. And then when he gets reversed, if the cost of this battle opponent is 0 or lower, you can put that card into your opponent's stock, and then their stock bottom to the waiting room. Probably like, I mean, it denies your opponent's like memory effects, like in the mirror match if you're playing against like old slime.
Hmm. If I still
In,
play the old combo.
Get rid of the Shizu that way. Seems like a solid tech card though, like as a one-off. Like in the matchups where like you want like a cost bomb, you got one, and then it also fills the role of like a costless 2 soul leader.
Yeah, the extra soul is definitely nice. I definitely prefer that over.
Like just like Risaya, except you have to coin flip. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's a tag.
I know this is definitely good for mirror matches.
Yeah, I mean, if
Card
you're
seems
in a
fine.
meta where you need to remove things like the Shizu, this card seems pretty solid.
I
Yeah.
think it would be like completely not playable if it didn't have like the soul effect.
Oh,
Like the
absolutely.
soul effect makes it like actually like a reasonable tech card, I think, because you have a costless 2 soul hitter. It's like 2 utility effects stapled on one card. So
Yeah.
big ups to old man.
All right. Next.
All right, we've got this 1/0 Xion. If there are 2 or more markers under this card, it gains frontal assist, 1,000 power. When this card is placed on the stage from your hand, place all of your vanilla 3K Rimuru from your waiting room underneath this face up as markers. Just markers 4 cards. It's broken.
That is 4
Dude,
markers.
compression.
Frontal
Place all
1,000.
your Rimuru Life Crisis in marker and waiting room.
It makes it so that you can upgrade it.
What?
You can
Wait,
move it.
In marker and waiting room. Yeah, okay, so it steals all the markers from other copies of this or other things that have them as markers too, like that Rimuru that we just saw that pulls things out of the waiting room. Interesting.
I mean, if you're playing
So,
vanilla, this is cool. But you're playing vanilla, then
Hey,
It
vanilla
is
3Ks
instantaneously 4 compression.
vanilla 3Ks are
huge.
basically oversizes.
That's like 4
they're
stock.
broken.
That's like 4 stock instantly. You just have to play 4 vanillas and
The-
sum
the-
them out
the-
of this card.
The 3K vanillas are actually like playable if the payoff card is good, I think. I don't know how I feel about this.
It is just instant 4. It is instant plus 4 compression.
I don't think it's great, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
And 1,000 power assist is like that's solid.
It's
It's
relevant.
frontal. It's only frontal too.
but it's always 1,000.
It's always 1,000. And you could just like tutor this up with a mask or something, and like going into your next deck, just be like, ha, all that compression for free.
Does
And
Slime have
1,000
any?
power.
Does Slime have any level 1 combos that just sit at 6k for no reason?
I don't think you have the space to run 4 vanillas in any slime build.
Probably not.
Yeah,
We can dream though.
I think it's funny. So
It is,
C
yeah.
minus for very funny.
I'm with you there.
I think you could make it work. You could run like
Probably.
4 vanillas, 2 of this card. Be interesting to see.
All right.
And then Dow blinks it. And
Yep. And then and then it gets blinked. Yeah.
Yep.
You're just done. All right. Next card, Brittany.
all right, we got Shion backup. When you use this backup, if all your demon con characters, you can put the top card of your library into stock, and then just 2k back.
These are better than costless 2K backups when you are playing choice.
Yep.
So-
That's a choice backup.
That is a choice backup. That is what it's for.
Kind
Yeah.
of just like a fake restriction. So
Yeah.
you can get the soul trigger on it.
Yep.
But hey, it can sometimes be useful if it lets you pay out a stock, maybe.
Are
Yeah.
there
If
any?
you want to. Or you
Just
could
gonna
put a
go-
climax into your stock. That would suck.
More than often that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's a fucking backup. Like it's whatever. Like you're playing
Yeah,
choice
you
and you
don't
want to
play
back up, you play this one. Like
Yeah.
it's not an argument, not a contest. These are if you're playing choice, these are just straight up better than costless 2Ks.
Mhm.
So
Dang,
Are
she
the-
looking like a backup.
yeah.
Are there any relevant characters in Slime that are not Demon Continent trait?
No.
Okay. Well then, there you have it.
All right, we got Pig Boy.
Oh, there he is. Is he Demon Continent?
Yes,
He's on the continent, right?
For each of your other characters in back row, this gains 1,000 power, so he's a 9/5. And then when your other character is front attacked, you can sack him to give one of your other characters 4k. So he's a 2-soul beater that's also a field backup for 4k.
4k field backup.
I don't
actually
like
fine.
it.
I mean, you.
I
if you're
think the point of a 2/2 is to hold fucking board. So why do I sack my 2/2 to win another lane when I could just play 2 2/2s?
He does hold board just in a different lane.
Carmen, you know how I was saying earlier about like incidental standby targets?
Yes,
is
I
like an
get it. I get it.
incidental-
I get it. But like I would if I'm running this as my primary 2/2, this would not be my primary 2/2. This would be
No, I
like
think maybe you'd have like 3 copies of your other 2/2 and 1 copy of this or something.
maybe it's
Could be.
fine.
Maybe.
Could be interesting.
It would need a lot of testing. I would need to
4K field backups, like that's a lot of power.
I would
That-
need
that
to
is
see this
threatening,
card
yeah.
in action. I would have to be convinced. For now, I would give it a C minus because I do not believe. But
You don't believe in Pig Boy?
I do not believe in.
It looks like suffering.
Yeah, I don't believe in Pig Boy. No pigmen. All right, John.
We get a 1/0 yellow event. Choose up the one card from among your markers or memory and put them in your hand.
What?
Yep.
1/0. Get a card back from memory or marker.
You can mask again, baby.
Mask again, yeah.
Mask again.
Ah,
It's like
Yeah,
playing.
yeah.
It's like playing an extra mask. Every one you draw, you get another mask. Broken.
Just never break. Ever.
Doesn't
impress
seem
you anymore.
Doesn't seem bad actually.
No, it's probably fine.
Like as a one of, just as like good synergy with both the potion seller and mask.
Yeah, I actually think this is like kind of okay. Like it's nothing like super fancy. You might actually play one.
It's
Just so you can say you're running
interesting.
5 masks.
I am also not a believer in this card. I do not believe.
I
do not believe.
I don't think you ever play this card either, but
Is it
could.
fine?
I think it's
It's
fine.
probably
I don't
okay.
think I don't think you ever play it, but I think it's fine.
Doesn't do anything else. Why doesn't this also go to memory?
Yeah,
That
if this
would
went to memory, it'd be way better.
That'd be too
It'd
good.
be, it would actually be
Yeah.
fucking broken if this went to memory.
Yeah.
Well, no, it just
If it was
replaces
1-0 that went to memory, it would be broken.
1-0 that goes to memory that gets a card out of your memory.
Yeah, it's like Mask but free.
Or you could just take a marker.
Well, no,
and
the
just-
mask does something. Doesn't do anything.
What are you talking about? Mask goes 1-for-1. This goes also 1-for-1.
I guess. Well,
We're talking about something that doesn't even matter.
Well,
here.
the zone-
Even though I'm
yeah.
right, I'm 100% right, and you're 100%
oh my god,
wrong.
no, it's fine.
It's neither.
I
here
mean,
nor there.
it would never be a costless event that goes to memory unless it was like super shit. Do anything. Okay. Last card.
Oh boy, another event card. We got a. Is this a slime or is this just an oval? I
Yes.
think that's him, but he's like sleeping.
Maybe.
He's on like a little cat bed. Anyway, 1/1 counter. If you have no demon continents, you can't play it. Whatever. Choose one of your characters. That character gets the ability cannot get reversed. I kind of like these cards. It's like save your character from impending doom. Your opponent doesn't get their reverse effects. Seems like an actually really annoying card to play against.
I think this card is actually good. But I don't
Thank
know
you,
if you can
John.
fit
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate
Like,
it.
it's gonna be hard to fit. Like, of course, like any slime list is like you have like 3 cards you can actually like mess around with because everything else is so tight. But you might be able to sneak this in there.
It'd be like a techie card, unless there's some way to bond to this that I don't
Yeah,
know. about.
Yeah.
The
Card
fact that
seems
it's an event,
sus.
You can't bond to it.
I'd
is,
vote this card out of the airlock for slime. I don't see a reason for slime to play this card.
If there's like a tech, that's like it. But like it looks
yeah,
okay.
I mean, as a profile, it's fine. You'd have to have a really big reason for playing it. But-
Or it just takes the spot of like, if you really do want to play it, and like you're thinking like, how do I fit this in? It just fills the spot of one of your 2/1 counters.
I think the 2/1 counters are like way too hotly contested in slime. You have
Drop this way
Yeah,
back.
a bunch of
I'm
good
just saying
ones.
this feels like the
okay.
same spot though.
The
if you wanna
Geld
play it.
counter is like legitimately broken, like a loopable 2/5. That's really stupid.
What are you talking about?
The 2/1 Geld counter, the loopable
Yeah,
counter.
that's not broken. That's existed before Slime, and no one's ever played it until
No,
Slime.
it's really good.
Yeah, ReZero has that.
Yeah.
I'd say it's well positioned, really good, and well positioned.
Yeah,
at different
it's really
things.
good. You get it back.
It's all right.
The Gobta obviously Leafa counter is really good. There's a new red counter. Can't remember what it does.
Memory counter.
Yeah, the memory kick by Nimara. Yeah, those are all much better than this card. So I don't think I would ever play this. So it's a big D for me. Don't like it. Not a
Big
fan.
D Rimuru. Mhm.
Big D.
You want to remember the big D? I don't know, man.
All right. I think that's it for yellow. We'll see you guys in red.